Fran, we're at the start of the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby, and what's noticeable to me from the position of the stalls where it's going to be on Saturday is that literally it's straight for a furlong, but I'm amazed at how much you're on the turn for a considerable distance down the back straight. It's very much an optical illusion when you're in the grandstand. It looks as if it's almost straight.
Very much so, Dave, and the Derby track, we're way in here to the tightest configuration of the Curragh on the round course, and this furlong is what people in the stands don't realise about the Curragh on Derby Day in the Derby, that it's such a short run to the first bend. You're riding a mile-and-a-half horse, it might take a half furlong to get into top gear, but if you're not in the position you want to be in by the time you get to the first bend, you're on the back foot, and it's very hard to make ground or make a move from the time you hit the first bend because you're on the turn all the way. So if you want to make ground or get into a better position, you're going to have to do it wide or up a hill on a turn. So this is key to how your race will develop for you. If you don't get into position you would have liked in this first furlong, you can often make life difficult for you at the end.
And Fran, when you bounce out of the gates, it's a relatively straight run. But it's reasonably flat as well. No major undulations until you come up to the top of the hill over in Walsh's Hill over there.
No, not at all. It's a nice smooth run. Once you get to the first bend, get that out of the way and you're in your position. It's a nice climb all the way, but you're on the turn, you know, from the 11 to the 9 it's straight, but then from the 9 and then to the 8 you're turning, and it is a good bit, not sharper, but it's more of an accentuated turn that if you are wide, you'll know you're wide more so than the outer track, and you pay a price for that at debt. And if you're running 3-4 wide off the railing, you're working so much harder to get into the race that a lower draw or lower inside position is key.
Fran, we're on a steady climb for, looks like 2 furlongs behind us, and we're just reaching the highest part of the track. And I suppose the race has really begun in earnest, but at this stage, are you thinking about getting a breather into your horse, or what's going through your head at this stage?
Dave, at this point in the race, you've got your position, the die is cast as regards the first half of the race, but now you're beginning to think, your ground is beginning to level up here, you've done the climb, you're just getting, as you said, a little breather into your horse. Hopefully you're travelling well enough within yourself, and then you're beginning to think about your next move, because when we get to the top of the hill here, the race will really begin to develop, and you just got to be thinking, who am I following? Will he get me to the straight? Am I behind the right horse, or should I be giving myself an option to get out? Or there's so much variables going on, but this is where you really start to think about the second half of the race.
Fran, we can see the 3 furlong pole in the distance. You're coming up to the 2 pole. You're just after turning for home. When you're beginning to make your move here, you see the stand from here. It's almost an optical illusion. The straight looks a little bit shorter, but I'd say it must be some thrill to turn in here with the crowd on a big day, and you know that you're going well. Can you sense that from the stand, the noise in the background, or are you completely in your zone?
Derby Day, in particular, and the Irish Champions Weekend, I suppose, as well, really got a big buzz about the place. You know, the stands are full in normal times, of course, and people are really over the rail, and the racing is so competitive that it's an extra special kick, and just a really special day. I grew up near the Curragh, and Derby Day, Champions Weekend, Leisure Weekend, classic days, and just has that special aura about it.